We often think of the stock market and the AI revolution as two totally separate things, right? But what if I told you that a huge, out-of-the-blue surge in one company's stock was actually a flashing red light, signaling a massive, hidden problem at the very heart of AI's growth? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack.
So, let's set the scene. It's Monday, October 13, 2025. For most of the market, it's just another day. But for one particular company, things were about to get wild. An explosion was coming, not in a lab, but on the trading floor.
And there it is, a 30% jump. Shares of a company called Bloom Energy just soared. I mean, for a single stock to move like that in one day, that is huge. It makes everybody stop and ask the exact same question.
What in the world could make a clean energy company's value leap by nearly a third in just a few hours? It wasn't some new solar panel or a wind turbine breakthrough. No, the answer was way more direct, and it tells us a lot about where technology is headed.
Okay, so here's the trigger. It was a massive deal between Bloom Energy and an investment firm called Brookfield. In their goal, to use Bloom's technology specifically for the crazy power needs of AI data centers. But it's the scale of this deal that really tells the story here.
$5 billion. Brookfield put up to $5 billion on the table to deploy this technology. This was so much more than a vote of confidence. It was a colossal bet on a very specific solution to a problem that's getting bigger by the day.
And that right there brings us to the real engine behind that 30% stock surge. See, it wasn't just about a business deal. It was about AI's insatiable and, let's be honest, kind of problematic appetite for electricity.
So you got to wrap your head around this idea of the grid gap. Think of it like this. The AI industry is building these incredible, super fast race cars. But our electrical grid, it's like an old, congested country road. The demand for power from AI is just growing way faster than our ability to supply it.
How much faster, you ask? Well, check out this number. NVIDIA and OpenAI are teaming up to build 10 gigawatts of data centers. To give you some perspective, that's about how much power New York City uses on a hot summer day. And that's from just one partnership. It's incredible.
And here's the real roadblock. You can't just plug these giant new AI data centers into the nearest outlet. The US grid is old, and expanding it can take years, sometimes even decades. This has become the single biggest bottleneck holding back the growth of AI.
Now, what's really fascinating about this slide is the solution it points to. This quote from Brookfield's head of AI infrastructure, Sikander Rashid, uses this key phrase, behind the meter. In plain English, it means going off-grid. If the public road is too slow, well, you just build your own private highway. And that private highway is exactly what Bloom Energy builds. Which brings us right back to that $5 billion deal. They are providing the off-grid answer to AI's power crisis.
So, the tech at the heart of all this is the fuel cell. Basically, it's a box that generates clean, reliable power right where you need it, at the data center itself. And its biggest advantage? Speed. You don't have to wait around for years for the utility company to hook you up to the grid.
So, how does it all work? Well, the strategy is pretty brilliant in its simplicity. 1, you put the fuel cells right there at the data center. 2, they generate all the power you need right on site. And 3, you completely bypass the slow, strained electric grid. Problem solved.
And hey, this isn't some futuristic experimental idea. Bloom has already deployed hundreds of megawatts of these things. We're talking major utilities like American Electric Power and data center giants like Equinix and Oracle. They're already customers. This is proven, tested technology.
So what we're really watching here isn't just a clever workaround. It's a fundamental shift in how people are thinking about this stuff. The entire industry is moving towards this new concept, the self-sufficient, all-in-one AI factory.
As Bloom CEO KR Sridhar puts it, you just can't build the future on top of yesterday's infrastructure. You have to build these new facilities like modern factories, totally self-contained, super efficient, and built for a specific purpose at an incredible speed and scale.
And this quote right here, this just perfectly illustrates that the whole industry's on the same page. When Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, the company that is literally building the engines of AI, says that generating your own power is the way to go, you know a massive shift is happening. The industry has basically decided it can't wait for the grid to catch up anymore.
So this all brings us to one final really important question. This whole story kicked off with a stock surge, right? All driven by a clever solution to AI's power problem. But as the tech industry starts building its own private high-speed energy highways, what happens to the public roads?
As AI becomes self-sufficient, who gets left behind? Who risks being left in the dark?